Welcome to the Genius Talk podcast. I'm your host Atul Raj from the bestemailmarketer.com, and today we have Shaun Gold with us. Shaun, thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for reaching out. Always happy to hop on and talk some fun stuff. I don't know about no geniuses though, so I don't know. We'll see if we can get there.
Okay, brother. So for our listeners who don't know you, can you tell them who you are and what you do?
Yeah, right now, I mean, I do. I've done a
Yep.
lot and I do a lot. So yes, I'm Shaun Gold, and currently I'm a chief evangelist at OpenVC, the best platform for early stage tech founders to raise funding. Also partner at Improved Ventures, early stage venture fund, right now focused on mergers and acquisitions in emerging markets, as well as late stage secondary startups. And I do a ton of content for a variety of different people in different industries, a lot of executives, founders, partners of funds, funds of funds, executives, you name it, I do it. If it has the written word, wants to be good, not AI slop, that's what I do.
Perfect. Okay. And you are known as Nightlife Ninja.
Former Nightlife Ninja.
Yep. Okay, so how did you become a Nightlife Ninja and what did you actually day to day life looks like in the club?
I can tell you what it once looked like. Imagine a world without smartphones where people actually had fun. Yeah, I started out, I was around 16, 17 years old and spent almost 2 decades promoting parties, doing giant events, all of that here in Miami, and a little abroad. I used to do spring break parties in the Bahamas, but 99% of my stuff was in Miami. If you ever saw a video, a movie, anything that had to do with a nightclub in Miami, that was my life. You know, my whole objective was making these parties pop, was filling them. I worked with major brands, Budweiser, Absolute, iHeartRadio, CW, you name it. I worked with every major DJ, did parties with tons of different celebrities, best nightclubs in the world, highest grossing nightclubs in the world. Yeah, that was a kind of started when I was in high school, mastered it when I was in college, kept it going after. And yeah, I was known for bringing the most people. That was kind of my competitive advantage, is when people needed to fill it, 1,000 people, 200 people, whatever, they would call me. So yeah, did it for, I counted it once. I think it was over 75 different nightclubs I worked with, and not including the hotels and the festivals and the private parties and the pool parties and all that stuff. That was my jam.
Okay, so if you're starting today and wanted to eventually own a nightclub, what first role would you take in a nightclub industry?
I wouldn't. This is the worst time in probably history to own a nightclub. You're dealing with a segment of the population that doesn't drink or go out. So if you don't have a Gen Z population that loves clubbing, you're just going to have an older population, and that's not cool. And even the older population doesn't drink as much as they used to. Economic factors, all of that. I mean, people still go out, but it's not like it once was. When I was doing it, it was like you can do it 7 nights a week. You could literally go out every night of the week to a different place, and that place would be packed, sold out, full of beautiful people. Now it's not like that anymore. So no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't advise doing it. I would not advise getting into it right now until we know what Gen Alpha looks like and if they actually want to go out and drink and party and spend money and all that. Nightlife, I always used to call it like a Ponzi scheme, because when people age out, you need to have younger people, fresher people, people that want to make more bad decisions come in to replace those people. And if you don't have that, then you don't have the revolving door. And it's not easy to find people to come out that want to spend a lot of money, that want to have a good time, that want to do it frequently. I mean, like I said, it used to be an every night thing. It was, sure, I had some nights that were slow, but there was a lot. Once I had it down, I mean, there was periods where I just didn't have to do anything, because it was just the process was set and the demand was so high and the supply, the space was so scarce. So, I really just had to check my phone and decide who I wanted to get in and who was spending enough to get in. And now it's not like that anymore. Maybe once a year, twice a year it is, but this used to be an every week thing. It was pretty amazing, so I don't, but that was then. This is now. So I'd like to go back out. I'd like to do events, but it's just a lot of people don't do them anymore. It's not cool anymore, which is kind of sad.
Okay, so I'm curious, like what strategy you're using to get people on the nightclub?
When I was doing it, I mean, same thing you do for anything right now, whether it's go to market for your small business or getting users for your startup. One, it's having a reputation. and being present. Two, it's doing what you do best so that the people that use you, again, for me, it was they were using me as their plug, their connect, their hookup for a startup or for something else. It'd be the tool or the product or service, whatever. That the user ends up loving it so much that they evangelize you. So for me, and I still say this now for everything I've done, and I've done a lot, I never spent money on Google ads. I think I did it once to test it out to see how it worked. I never ran ads. I never did any social media. I did any of that. Everything I did was organic. Everything I did was going above and beyond servicing my clients. So that way, when they had fun, they would go and they would share my number with people. And that's how I did it. And that compounded over years. It went from being just people that were older than me in university or people that had friends of friends or people that came into town for spring break to as everybody aged up, it went to their boss, their manager, their friend's bachelor party, bachelorette party, all that. So it was just being able to service the client, being able to actually be reliable and come through and give everyone a good time and make sure they had a good time. That was a strategy. And then for packing it in, I mean, I would strategically partner with people that were active in their school communities. So when the say the med school or the law school wanted to do a party for everybody and bring everyone, they would call me. So again, it was just setting up the processes and having the reputation and just delivering on what I said I was going to do, just like anything. But I did it at such a mass scale. But that started with one group of 10 people, then two groups of 10 people. Then before you know it, you have, guest lists of 1,000+ people that are actually showing up and not just 1,000+ people that just you have a list that nobody shows, which was common. Yeah. And it was also a lot of salesmanship. It's a lot of work to convince people to spend tens of thousands of dollars for an experience that's going to last a few hours. But so the salesmanship, targeting the right ICP, being associated with the right people, all of that. And really simple stuff like answering the phone when it rings or responding to a text message. A lot of people don't do that. And the quicker you do that, the quicker you alleviate your clients or possible clients' concerns. And, it's about just making everything run smoothly for them, make sure they have a good time and make sure they come back. Leave them wanting more.
Okay, so what do you think? Nightclub is a like very good place for networking, right?
It was for me. I don't know about it now. Again, for me, it was because I had, my clients evolved from college students to, very high net worth individuals, athletes, celebrities, brand managers, marketing managers, all that. Yeah. So it was the most non pretentious place to network, at least for me, because everyone who I shake their hands, I get business cards, I get their numbers, and they know me as someone that was reliable and they know me that's someone they could count on. Yeah, for me it was, but for everyone else, I wouldn't think so because at least I knew who the people were. I wasn't going up to random people. I was getting introduced. There were warm introductions. So for me, it was. I don't know about now. Granted, if you can get a membership at Soho House or something like that, it might be, but you still have to vet everybody. It depends what you're looking to do and who you're looking to meet. Me, every single person was just another target, right? The more people I had on my phone that I could text or reach out to, that would help me when less people started coming out or when people canceled. I always had to have a buffer. So if I knew I was bringing 100 people and half canceled, I had more that, I still could have more that could show and it could still be close to that number.
You know what? Actually, I was thinking about, owning a nightclub, and the main purpose was to have more connection in my city, like
I mean,
to know politicians in my city and all those kind of things.
you could if you have the right crowd that comes in, but how you going to get the right crowd? Like it's one thing to have one, but if you don't have the right people in there, it's not the right mix. So yeah.
Okay, okay. So what do you think? So do you look for a place where like a Gen Z are around who would like to go party and then have a nightclub there?
It's not enough to sustain the business though. It's right now, at least with everything going on, you need to do so much more volume at such a higher price. And before it wasn't like that. Plus you had a generation and economic factors that favored that generation. So people had more money to come out and spend. I mean, right now, yeah, I mean, you can get a bunch of people, but if everyone's just looking at their phone and not buying drinks, you don't have a nightclub. You have you have a time sunk and a money pit that you're burning money. You when I was doing it, you really had like if you were open 3 or 4 nights, you always had one night that would pay the bills. It was always that one killer night. And then the other nights hopefully would do well enough to either break even or then you could start accumulating more cash. But it was always tough It was always, tough because you had like an 18-month window. Granted, some of the places I
Mhm.
worked with one venue that's still around. I mean, I was there for almost a decade. But, yeah, most clubs, they were seasonal. 18 months, 20 months, something like that, then it wasn't popular anymore. So you had to, and it wasn't as expensive to open one back in the day. It wasn't like here in Miami. I don't even know how much a liquor license costs now, but you know, used to be able to get one for $250,000. All right, but that's 250K just to get a liquor license. Not including your build out, not including the insurance, not including your hiring, not including your marketing. But you used to be able to do it for a few $1,000,000. Used to be able to do it. Now you can't do that anymore. You need tens of millions, and I don't know if the market is there to sustain it anymore.
Okay, okay. By the way, you have two best-selling books. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, one they both kind of have to do with nightlife. I mean, they're old, but one of them was about just personal marketing based on all the strategies I did in marketing nightclubs. The other one was more of like an entrepreneurial toolkit, also kind of based on what I did for the nightclubs. Yeah, I mean, I could write another one, but I've written four total, and they take a lot of time, and I kind of got a lot of work to do already. So it's a lot of effort. Plus, we're in a post literacy world, so I'm not sure how many people would, even if it was the best work ever, I'm not sure how many people would sit down and read it. But yeah, I mean, those two ones really, really like rocked it, opened a lot of doors, helped a lot of people. So it's pretty cool.
Okay, so what are you working on these days?
Right now, my focus really is on my personal brand and the venture developing like venture comedy, making startups
Mhm.
and VC fun, putting the fun in fun as I call it, but then doing again content for a wide variety of clients and doing strategy for a wide variety of clients. And of course, doing a lot of talks regarding fundraising, startups, marketing, all that via OpenVC. So I'm always busy, always got something going on.
Okay, so what skill you build as a nightlife ninja that has the most valuable impact in your work as a VC today?
All of them. The marketing, the
All of them?
salesmanship, the ability to network, the ability to sniff out what's real and what isn't, the ability to move quick, all of that.
Hey, can you talk about the ability to move quick?
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
well, people are very slow. Like, send an email, maybe they don't get back to tomorrow. Send a text message or a WhatsApp or a Telegram. Like, you have to be on point. With nightlife, you could lose that person because it was so competitive that you had to be on point. You had to be able to get back to them quickly. You had to be able to close them. You had to be able to make sure everything was okay. And it was a 7 day a week gig. So I apply that to everything I do now. I mean, it's Saturday morning here. Most people will be like, oh, I'm going to book during the week or something. I move as fast as I can. Moving fast is a superpower, especially now in an age of AI where AI can do a lot of things really efficiently and could help supercharge you as well. So yeah, moving fast is definitely a skill. I mean, you had to be able to close a client. You had to be able to stay on point. You had to be able to just arrive at the venue on time. All of that. You couldn't be held up. What's next? What's next?
yeah, actually, most of my questions was related to nightclub, but since you said it was not a good idea, so I'm just checking other questions.
No, no, it's okay. Listen, like I said, it's an old industry for me. I spent a long time in it, but it's not something I'm into right now, just because it's not um it's not profitable for me anymore. And it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
fun.
exactly.
It's more annoying. If you're gonna be a good
Like more
entrepreneur, you go
annoying.
with what
How
makes
is
money
that?
and not with what's just there. Sorry, what was your question?
Like more annoying. How is that?
Uh Everything. People asking for free stuff. People don't want to wait. People want to come when on their schedule. People expect to be treated like VIPs. People expect to go in the DJ booth. People want to meet celebrities. People want to hang out with celebrities. Again, it's very clout driven now. People want to look cool on social media, on TikTok and Instagram, without having the requirements of being cool or without wanting to spend the money to have that access. Yeah, again, it's not fun when everyone when it used to be dealing with actual celebrities, but when now everyone thinks they're a celebrity and now everyone thinks that they, because of their follower account, that they have, a certain gravitas, which they don't, they expect to be treated a certain way. And I come from an era where it's like, yeah, if you're somebody, you're going to be treated a certain way. But if you just show like your TikTok or your Instagram following, like, I don't care. You're going to have to spend the same amount of money as everyone else. So it was a lot like I didn't want to deal with a lot of that. I didn't want to negotiate with nobodies and wannabes, so to speak.
Yeah, I think because of Instagram following, many people behave like celebrity when they are not.
Everybody is what do we call them? I try hard, you know. So yeah, wannabes, tryhards, bottom feeders. Yeah, I don't need it. I deal with enough of that in startups, right? So it's like I don't want to deal with it with being out. It's just not as fun anymore. So yeah, it
By
was
the way,
very
like,
annoying.
okay, yeah. Oh, by the way, can you be more specific, like, what kind of startup you work with?
Tech startups. Yeah, a lot of AI startups, but 99% of it is mostly in the tech space. SaaS, of course, AI tools, B2B. So yeah, I work with a lot of different startups and companies. Content's the main focus, but I'm really connected, so I can also help them with introduction, strategy, go to market, pitch decks, all that stuff.
Okay. Okay. So if someone want to work with you, so is there any like disqualification that they are qualified to work with you?
I mean, obviously they have to have a budget. There's a common misconception in startups that they want to pay in equity, and yeah, nobody accepts equity. Um, yeah, it has to have a budget, be serious. But yeah, I really work with a high tier level of founder executive that understands the impact of the personal brand, of the company's brand, of having a presence, of just being available and being sort of omnipresent in their niche and lane, and the importance of owning their lane. Again, comes from Nightlife, where I own the lane, not so much the VIP aspect, although I had a lot of that, but I own the lane on the bodies, on bringing in the most people, on having massive impact with my network, and having a giant boost by having me present and show up.
Okay. Hey, tell me, like, what's the most bizarre experience you have in your nightlife?
I mean, there's plenty. There's not just one. I think it was all bizarre. I mean, people lying about what they do, people bragging about who they know, people trying to, say they're friends with a certain celebrity, people trying to say they were my friend and I never met them, people trying to say
Mhm.
that they were my client, I've never seen them, like so many different things. The amount of stratagems people would use to try and get into a nightclub for free and get into VIP, like it never ends. It doesn't surprise me. The just to avoid the line, just to avoid all that stuff. So yeah, it's
Okay.
all bizarre.
Tell your favorite story, favorite experience.
I don't have favorite experience. It's just very hard for me to narrow down. I mean, I did it for a long time. Uh, I mean, I did a lot of cool stuff, right? It just I can't narrow it down. You know, I mean, one of my favorites is like no one could believe I could do it, but I told them I said, "Listen, I'm gonna bring 1,000 people," and no one kind of like believed it, and I did. Bring like over 1,000 people. You know, had a bunch of school buses bring it was a bunch of college kids, to the nightclub on a random Wednesday, very early when the entire, area was dead. So that was kind of cool, like slamming it. That was fun. Hanging out with celebrities, got a lot of stories with that. That was cool. Just packing. I mean, just going above and beyond and exceeding the expectations that everybody had. Because again, the bar is set very low. I think that's for most businesses and industries that the bar is set very low. So if you can actually surpass that bar consistently, you're always going to be needed and in demand. You're always going to be able to do it. And have a client list or have people that need you or companies that need you for your certain skill set. A lot of people don't do it. They just do what's required of them, and that's it. So you have to go above and beyond.
So for our listeners who want to know more about you, want to connect with you, where can they go?
I've got a LinkedIn. Is it going to be below? Put it below. Drop the link. It's I post really fun infotainment Monday to Friday on my LinkedIn regarding startups, venture capital, raising funds, pitch decks, all that stuff. Started the Twitter too. So I want to put that below at But Shaun. Not as active on it, slowly growing. I'm going to start posting more, but it's more of a time suck thing. But I do drop things there. So yeah, that's it. Those are the two best. Twitter's where LinkedIn is where I'm most active, at least right now.
Okay, brother. Is there anything else that you would like to share?
Thanks for having me. It was a blast talking about old nightlife stuff, bringing back the former nightlife ninja days.
Yeah, brother. Thank you so much for joining, and it was really fun chatting with you.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.